we one bliss. Someone flips me a bad body. So it's another one, yeah. It's a full strong, yeah. Oh, it's another one, yeah.
Good afternoon, or should I say good evening. Welcome to iBoxingHub. If you're new to this channel, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. I go by the name of BIYENGE, featuring yours truly, Tre. What's good?
Yes, cuz. Big up to you and big up to the whole of the family that's tuned in, the community. We obviously appreciate each and every one of you guys. So if it's the morning, afternoon, evening, just let us know in the chat. But cuz, before we get into the show itself, it's always obviously a pleasure doing these shows. Let's hear from our sponsors, Dley Clothing. Yes, cuz, and yes, people. You know the spiel. It is iBoxingHub in association with Dley. So people, take advantage of the discount code, which is 40% off everything. So just head over to the description, utilize that code. And we've got a few people in the chat saying hi. So big up to you, Kami. Happy Sunday, my friends. Happy Sunday to you, Kami. God bless you. Thank you so much for tuning in. And big up to Eric. Obviously, he's saying big up. What a weekend of boxing, bro. What a tremendous week it's been. You know, there's a lot to start off, of course, cuz. But before we get into the show, I've got to do, a few of the shout outs for, the brothers that have been able to do a tremendous work, man. So firstly, wanted to do a quick shout out. He's obviously a part of IBH North. We know who he is. Ricky, big up to Ricky. He obviously went to the Callum Simpson event yesterday. Eric, who's right in the middle, he's in the chat right now. So I just wanted to give these guys a big shout out for the work throughout the week. I think also he's done his second round in a new place, man. So big up to Ricky. He obviously got to meet, the new European champion. We're obviously going to be talking about that in more detail as well. And also, cuz, obviously the lads did a tremendous job in a watch along for Abdullah Mason. So big up to the team in the USA, which is IBH USA. The lads are smashing it. So big up to $2 Bill. Big up to Kevin, Captain Kevin. Absolutely love the tremendous work from the team. And yeah, man, it's nothing but good energy, good vibes. We've got Mr. Neutral, aka Sir Jim Watt of New Boxing Media in the chat. So big up to you. Happy evening to you. And shout out my guy, Ricky, of course, man. Look, that's 3 interviews that's coming on the platform. So guys, look, you got Eric here preaching for us, man. So those interviews will be out in the channel very soon. So big up to Ricky. He's obviously recovering well, but he still, went to the event yesterday. But cuz, let's get down to business. You know the magic words, man. You know what we do. These shows are just for the people, and the title is Woodley overcame adversity to win at Portman Road. So, cuz, start us off, man. What are you saying?
Why? I was not expecting that at all. However, I did predict. I said Woodley knockout between 8 and 10. I think I said. No, I said 5, 8, or 10. I wasn't expecting that at all. I mean, I understand his opponent was supposed to be Baby Miller, but if anything, I think what's his name, Hooney, is a difficult opponent. He's quick for a big guy. He pretty much gave Woodley problems in every round. And again, it just shows you the levels, because obviously, Woodley, correct me if I'm wrong, he started boxing at the age of 21. White, and his background's white collar, whereas who he fought, I believe, he started boxing when he was younger, and he's got amateur background, etc. So it just shows you the levels. But look, he did what he had to do to win. And some would say, even though he got knocked down, he got up and referee called it off at the 9th count. So it's a tricky one, because put it this way: if this fight was to go to distance, right? Let's just say it was a draw, they would have to run it back 100%. But because Woodley won, some are saying, yeah, well, he was losing, he just about won that fight, he should rematch him. But should he rematch? Also, he shouldn't. But if you was in his camp, in his team, would you recommend that he rematch him just to prove a point that it was just an off night? Or would you say, no, move forward?
Honestly, because obviously, firstly, big up to Woodley, because I've said it a few times on this show, and you've preached it, because you've said it years back. You see him as the next, heavyweight champion. And for me, for him to kind of stick at that path, I think he doesn't need to do a rematch. I think he just kind of needs to look forward and look. Now he's the WBA interim champion. The only thing next is to fight the champion, whoever is going to be the WBA champion after, the big one, which is obviously going to be happening in July. So, cuz what I think he should do is maybe assess his options. I think he did a little teaser tweet when he spoke about Derek Chisora's 50th. He obviously posted underneath it and said, look, war versus war, let's have it. I don't know what you're saying about that for 50th.
Do you know what? No. And I'll tell you why. It's risky for both, because we know Derek Chisora, he blow for blow, he's on it. They are literally both, I would say, in the semi-finals, as in like they're pretty much, one shot away from a title shot. And whoever loses that fight loses their position. So Derek, he's currently number 1 IBF. So he's patiently waiting, because look, Derek could have fought Joseph Parker, who's currently he's either WBO interim champion, right? Yeah. But I guess we're going to risk it, because look, if we rewind back, look at Joe Joyce. Yep. He was number 1. Well, he had the interim WBO interim belt. Now look what happened. Then Zhang took it off him, and then Parker beat Zhang. Do you know what I mean? So they're at that point where nobody wants to risk it. There will definitely be an upset. And with Derek, because it's his 50th, I want to see him go for another world title shot. I think he's going to bring his all. And plus, the money will be good, because look, Derek fighting Woodley, it doesn't excite him. But for me, I just think that Derek's all about the money. Him fighting, let's just say, the likes of Triple D or Usyk, whoever the winner is, he's guaranteed to get paid handsomely.
100%, cuz 100%. I agree with you. I agree with you.
If anything, if Woodley wants to fight somebody, I would say fight Okoli or Bokoli. Yes.
Okoli or Bokoli, you heard my cuz. But obviously, big up to Mr. Neutral in the chat. He's obviously saying, I'm not sure Huni would have been much better with an extra 5 seconds on the count. Yeah, Woodley would have finished him anyway. Now, big up to you, my brother. And Lucy's Fats. Big up to Lucy's Fats, all the way from the States. She's obviously saying Woodley fights the winner of Pulev versus Hunter, because I believe that's for the regular championship, I believe. So, it makes sense for him to kind of waste some time to see what happens next. Or Woodley versus Huisa. Yep, it's an interesting one. That is an interesting one, Mr. Neutral. But I think the ball's in his court. He shouldn't take any sort of risky fights. Like you said, it's like a semi-final right now, man. He's got the golden ticket. The next fight can be either a world title fight if he sits back, or if he wants to kind of keep busy, he could grab one of these fights in between. So he's got plenty of options, man. But once again, cuz, man, big up to Woodley. I think this win definitely cemented his case to having that Deontay Wilder kind of punch power, because like you said, cuz, the fight was boxed beautifully from Huni. Like, I would give him at least, he was 5 rounds up, I would say, man. It was winning the fight, but just that 1 second, cuz, and that 1 second was enough, you know, for him to get the stoppage. And I think this would be great for his reputation as well. If you would have blown out Huni, let's say in 5 rounds, would we be, you know, talking about Woodley in this light? I don't think so, man. Exactly. So I think we needed something like this to kind of show, you know, what kind of grit he's got, man. And it was great to see, cuz, man. So big up once again, man.
There's no way he's going to lose at home. There's no way. You know, even it seemed like to be, so there's no way he's going to lose at home. And like literally that knockdown was disgusting. It came up from nowhere. It's just like me watching it live. It was like a slow motion Matrix. Boom,
boom. Punch from the gods, cuz. For a second, obviously I didn't have doubts here, but when the fight was happening, I was just thinking, like, damn, he really needs to get the knockout here, because if this goes to decision, he's definitely losing, man. And I think even Frank was so nervous a few times as well. He's going, oh, let your hands go, let that right hand go, and look, he finally did it. And it was a, you know, it was a good performance, man. And never write this man off whilst he has an equalizer. He's got it like Wilder. And I don't think Woodley beats anyone much better than Huni, which is an interesting point as well. And big up to Tom. I think this is Tom's first time tuning in. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate it, brother. I still think Woodley will comfortably KO because of lack of defense. Oh, okay. No, it's...
Do you know what? One thing I noticed, I don't know if it was this fight, but it's like he can't fight on the back foot. You know, he gets hit too much. And those shots were coming everywhere. But he's more of an aggressor and a come forward fighter. So I suppose maybe then that's what he needs to work on. But I've said this plenty of time. I realized with the heavyweights, I can only talk about British heavyweights. They tend to get hit too much.
It's true, man.
No, I think a majority of them, also I don't want to disrespect them, but the majority of them, they need to improve on their defense. I don't want to say they lack defense, but they need to improve on their defense. Do you know what I mean? Because the whole aim of boxing is sweet science, isn't it? You know, they say not to get hit, well, you're gonna get hit anyway. But do you know what I mean? So, but hey, he's got heart. He showed it now. Literally, like I said, you know, he's you know, 1 shot away from a world title. One shot
away, cuz. 1 shot away. Cuz imagine, cuz, you actually put a bet on years ago to, you know, say that this would happen, man. And I think right now, man, the bookies would be giving you a big cash out right now, man, because that is very, very likely, man. I can't lie to you.
Don't get me wrong. Woodley, one thing I like about Woodley is he's honest, he's hungry, and he's focused. You know, he's got nothing else to prove, and he takes on every challenge. And you know, obviously, if the money's right, etc., and his profile is growing. You know, so it's like, look, Dylan's his manager. Obviously, Dylan's still standing in him. Do you know what I mean? And now he's on TV. So I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love to see him fight Derek Shaw, but the only way I can see that fight happening if it's big money that tempts Derek. But then at the same time, I'm like, what way to go? I mean, look, we're even hearing that Dylan might be fighting Moses Atuma in August. And boy,
so yeah. Because you obviously said it, man, and it kind of just goes to our next topic as well. Let me just quickly run through some of the chat. Obviously, big up to everyone just getting involved. This is what we like. We want you guys to have your voice. So Tom's saying it's not even his fault. It's just lack of experience. He's done so well to reach this level. I agree with you. He's come from white collar boxing and he's not had no amateur experience, man. So defense is hard to pick up when you start late. 100% agree. Lucy's facts always on point, spot on, Tom. And sometimes it's hard to pick up when you start early as well. So these are good points from Lucy as well. But cuz you obviously said it, you mentioned it as well. Moses Tuma, there is obviously talks, or it's confirmed that, you know, this fight with Dylan, what is it, Dylan White? Can this happen? Is this happening? Is it a Riyadh season special? Is Turkey LSU putting this together for the people? Like, Cause I just want to hear your.
I mean, do you know what? It's just crazy because obviously in the group chat, a lot of people just writing off Dylan, and what I'm saying is that look, this is heavyweight boxing. Anything is possible. It's like with Moses, he's never done a 10 round or 12 rounder, right? And obviously he's fighting a world challenger, and Dylan obviously he's got experience on that level there, and all it takes, he can outbox Dylan, yes, on points, everything. But if he lands that left hook, it could be all over. I mean, I would say the pressure probably will be more on Dylan because people are saying he's come towards the end of his career. But obviously, Dylan, he wants the big payday, he wants the AJ, he wants the big fights. But you know, financially, if Moses Atuma fight is paying him more money than him fighting a Coley, then I get it. And it's obviously he's on Riyadh season. Do you know what I mean? Since Saudi, I get it. But I'm just thinking, boy, it could be another Johnny Fisher and Dave Allen, you know?
Yeah.
Because the thing about that, I know Dylan, he's been inactive, and I know a lot of people are saying that he's been pulling out fights. Obviously, last fight, it was supposed to be Joe Joyce and he had a hand injury or something like that. This one here, I don't know what the reason is, but my understanding is because he's got a big fight in August, so he's got straight at it. But remember, like, this is the can man.
Because this is a question right for you.
Don't get me wrong, yeah.
When's the last time you've been impressed by him?
The last time I was impressed by Dylan White when he fought Povetkin.
Second time, you mean the rematch? Yeah.
Because you got to think of it. Look, obviously, you know, he lost to Fury. He was supposed to fight.
AJ.
No, he fought Franklin.
Yeah,
but again, you know, we all have bad days in the office, and again, the opponents that he's fought, maybe they haven't really been giving him that. I don't know, that motivation. It sounds silly, but hey, we will see if he gets in the ring with Moses. Dude, we might see a different Dylan White. All I'm saying is that look, just don't write him off. I know Moses is the potential, you know, future world heavyweight champion, and I respect that. All I'm saying is that look, dude, remember he hasn't been tested yet. Him going with Dylan White can test him. Do you know what I mean? He can get tested, and then what? If he was to lose, people be like, yeah, but you know, he hasn't got that experience, blah blah blah. But all I'm saying is that look, just don't. A lot of people just right off Dylan White. Dylan White. You know, it's just like saying, saying Moses. All right, as of now, let's just say Moses was fighting AJ. Who would win? You'll probably say Moses, right?
You know what? Yeah, obviously because of the momentum and with the trajectory, yeah, you would kind of lean towards Moses, but you can't overlook the people that are more experienced as well, that they've been there, they've fought under the lights as well. That also plays a big factor, man. Obviously, he's done tremendously well to, you know, build his record up and, you know, have the fights. And I like what they're doing with him. They're, you know, taking his time, but, you know, fighting under the lights, especially for a high-profile fight, man, this could be something different where he's not experienced this before. So we're going to see him either relish, or we could see him potentially crumble, or we could see, you know, something that's neutral where it's such a tough fight, it's back and forth. If he loses, he still gets his respect because he's gone in there, you know, with the body structure, man. So let's see, man. Let's see what the situation happens, man. Of course, man. And give me Moses versus Franklin, man. That's the fight that makes sense as well, man. Moses Atuma versus Franklin. I think that makes more sense, man, because you're kind of, that's the level right now, and we could really get a proper acid test to see if he's ready for the next phase, man. But yeah, let's have it, man. If it's if it's Dylan White, let's have it, cuz man, I'm excited regardless, just to see where he's at as well, cuz.
Okay. May the best man win. May
the best man win. All right, cuz just before we kind of speak about, you know, yesterday's other event as well, just a quick one as well. Obviously, big up to Ricky once again. He was at the event yesterday for Callum Simpson's fight. He's obviously the new European champion. He ended up obviously getting the victory over Ivan Zuko. Nice stadium fight. Really good experience. Now, the next opponent, potentially, they're looking at Hamza Shiraz next. Should he, beat Belanga? Just what's your thoughts, man, about that as a British fight here in the UK?
That'd be a big fight. I'm just thinking, what weight? Sorry, because I didn't watch the fight. Is he campaigning at 160? Or is he looking to move up to 168?
He's super middleweight, cuz, man. So he's 168. So they're both in the same division. So Hamza Shiraz's fight with Belanga is that super middleweight.
Do you know what? Yeah, why not? Well, he said he wants to fight the winner out of Belanga and Shiraz. That'll be an interesting one. That will, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I like it. Who will win? I don't know. I mean, I don't know, because I don't want to be biased to say, oh yeah, Shiraz. Because remember, when he fought for a world title at 160, we saw levels. So obviously he's moving at 168. I need to see where he's at. So at the moment, I'll probably say Simpson's got this. Do you know what I mean? But that will be a big fight. I mean, look, you got Boxer vs Queensberry. If anything, do you know what? I've said this before. Not trying to change subject, nothing like that. But I think before we get a matchroom Queensberry 5v5, I think what we need to do is get a Boxer vs matchroom 5v5, and then the winner gets to challenge Queensberry 5v5. Do you know what I mean? Makes sense. It's only fair.
I think you got something there, man. So His Excellency, if you're listening to this, I know you podcasts and episodes do come across your lap. If you are listening, Boxer versus Matchroom, whoever wins that faces Queensberry. I want to do that as a 5v5, man. I think that would be a good one as well. Can't even lie. And you already got one match up there, which makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that will be Shiraz v Simpson. That's a good fight. That's a good fight.
It would be a good fight, and I think
then again, I'm saying, why rather than them waiting for the winner of Shiraz and Belanga, why not challenge what's his name? Got his name now. Bentley.
Yeah, Bentley's at middleweight, isn't it?
Oh.
Yeah, Bentley's at middleweight. So yeah, unless Bentley's gonna move up, man. I think it would make sense at super middleweight for Hamza Shiraz and Callum Simpson to fight, man. Simpson learnt massive lessons about himself with a very game Zuko, which I 100% agree. Wasn't it lovely that Simpson showed his class? My take, yeah, 100%. Look, you are an absolute legend, Mr. Neutral, man, for pointing that out. Imagine, you just got into a war with someone and you got into lunch afterwards, man. That's legendary. So, Shiraz, Belanga isn't far away. It's next month, man. So this could potentially happen, cuz, man. This Junior versus Simpson would be a great fight. 168. I think Mr. Neutral, he needs to build his profile up a little bit more, man.
To be fair, I like what he's doing, because for him to build his profile, he's thrown himself in them big fights. So that's the only way he's going to build his profile. So, me personally, I can't see Junior fighting Simpson, because it doesn't offer him nothing. There's no money in there. Do you know what I mean? Him fighting Shiraz, yes. There's a potential. If he beats Shiraz, hey, who knows? Maybe next year, something. Him and Canelo, or whoever. Do you know what I mean? But this. Listen, the super middleweight division is looking spicy.
It is, cuz it is, and we'll know who will be, the undisputed super middleweight champion soon, when this fight obviously happens as well. So
you know what? I'm just going. I'm going Crawford. I'm going for an upset. I'm going Crawford.
Ooh. We going for Crawford, yeah?
Yeah.
It's fair. No, it's fair. Look, I think I've said it a few times on multiple shows that it is a fantasy fight. And if anyone warrants this fight, it is Crawford, just through his accomplishments and achievements. But realistically, man, I just don't see how he could do it against Canelo. But if anyone could, I'm sure Crawford could come up with the right game plan to, get the victory, because they've been preparing for this fight for a long period of time. I think they've been preparing for this fight since after Madrimov, man, in my opinion.
Yeah. So I think he's the guy to do it. And once he does it, that's it. The belts are gone. The belts are gone. I think that's the way to end. I'm going Crawford. Some may say you're crazy or stupid, you don't know nothing about boxing. Listen, we're living in a time that anything's possible. Not just that. Crawford, we can't compare Crawford to Charlo. We can't compare Crawford to anyone else. Crawford's Crawford, but it's a big challenge for him. And Crawford's quick and he's a counterpuncher. And I realize Canelo is a slow starter. Don't get me wrong, Canelo's got power.
Look, but Mr. Neutral saying, BIYENGE, you must see me first if you're betting on Crawford. Yeah, of course, man. Of course.
No, I'm just going for, me, I always go for the underdog. But because it's like, look, as of recent, if we're honest, as boxing fans, Canelo hasn't been the Canelo that we used to see. Don't get me wrong, he gets the win, but it's like, look at his last fight. He was complaining about his opponent running, but of course he's going to do that. Do you know what I mean? Canelo being Canelo, that's where you stop him, you jump at him, bang, bang, bang. So it's just, I think maybe the blueprint how to beat Canelo. Not to say that he beat Canelo, but maybe you just have to just frustrate him.
Yeah, no, definitely, and it should be a good one. Let's see what will happen. Of course, I just want to quickly run through, because it's been such a busy week. We're just going through a few bits as well. Obviously, Lomachenko announced his retirement from the sport itself. So I was just a few minutes, man. Like, what's your thoughts about Lomachenko retiring? What did you think of his career in 10 to 20 years' time? Is Lomachenko's name going to be mentioned, with some of the greats that we've been able to see in the sport?
100%, man, 100%. I mean, we can't forget Lomachenko. He's done a lot for the sport as well. Do you know what I'm saying? So for him to retire, it's a good thing. Do you know what I mean? As long as he's happy, he's financially stable. It's now time for the new cats. It's time for the new cats. So that's now a vacant IBF title, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Because
whoever gets that belt is gonna probably have to see Tank afterwards, isn't it?
Gonna have to see Tank, man. Tank's gonna have to unify in this division. Big up to our boy straight in the chat as well, brother. Thanks for tuning in. Canelo's the Jesus of boxing. Wow, yeah, he's the man right now, man. I can't lie.
Right now, yes, right now. Don't get me look. Even when he gets beaten by Crawford, Canelo's still the man. But I just think it's just everyone has their season, everyone has their time, and I think it's time. I think it's time now, man.
It is the time, man. It is the time. Yes, because obviously we had, I don't know how I'm going to break this down, man, because I know this is a topic that everyone kind of wants to discuss. Obviously, originally we had the Keyshawn Davis versus De Los Santos. We saw, the situation that happened with the weigh-in. He didn't make weight. He missed the weight. So obviously the fight got cancelled. Now, Abdullah Mason ended up, headlining this event. And I have to say, cuz, man, and once again, big up to the lads, the IBH USA lads, for doing a tremendous watch along on this. It was just great to see. But he put on a very mature performance and ended up getting the stoppage. And he sets himself up for potential fight for that vacant title that Keyshawn's already lost in the scales, man. So, and we saw also the controversy, that happened in the co-main, involving the brothers and everything. Cuz, like, what is going on with Keyshawn Davis, man? What is going on in the camp, cuz? What's going on?
That's a question you have to ask him in his camp. I have no clue. I honestly have no clue. Is he? What am I right in saying he's going to move up then to 140?
Yeah, I believe with the weight, yeah, he saw he's struggling, of course. So I do see him moving up, and as the former WBO champion, he can move up and fight the 140 WBO champion, which is Teofimo. But,
Yeah, but
the only problem is, will Teofimo entertain this fight? I don't
this
think
is where Teofimo annoys me a bit, yeah, because it's just like, look, he had an opportunity to fight Haney, serious money, yeah, and for whatever reason, for whatever reason, he pulled out. Apparently, is he injured, or is that what they're saying? He's injured or something like that. But anyway, him fighting Keyshawn Davis, he's not going to get the money that he was supposed to get when he fought. If he was to fight Haney, but again, because he's beefing Crawford, he might not entertain Keyshawn Davis. I don't know. Knowing Timo, he might even vacate that title. I don't know, man. Do you know what? These boxers just annoy me half of the times, man. Make the fights happen. We want to see the fights. We want to see the best fight the best. Make it happen.
No, 100%. I agree. Mr. Neutral's obviously saying it was great seeing Mason headlining and giving the fans a performance. Ironic that Keyshawn would lose the weekend to a young man after the piece. It's true. It's 100% true. And Lucy's obviously confirming that, he's Abdullah Mason's #2 for the WBO, and Sam Noakes, man. Big up to Sam Noakes. He's #1. So, look, this is in order, man. So IBF will order, yep, and Noakes. Woo! That's a big one for Noakes, man. I'm excited because I know Sam Noakes in terms of, ticket sales, how he smashes it. He brings fans to shows. I think, yeah, he deserves it, man, for the shift that he's been able to put in. So, yeah, because if I was, or let me ask you, if you were Keyshawn Davis's manager,
yeah,
and everything's transpired, everything's happened, who are you getting him to fight next? Strategically, commercially, what makes sense next for him?
Teofimo.
Yeah. You're calling for Teofimo, man.
Yeah.
WBO.
They were both Timo, is he still top rank? No, top rank no, is he?
No, he's basically he's got like a contract where he just pays promotional fees to Top Rank, I believe, and he's allowed to kind of go off and do his thing. So technically he's a free agent, but he's still got ties with Bob at Top Rank. So it could happen if Turkey gets involved, which I do believe he will. Keyshawn is the ambassador of Ring, of Riyadh season, or Ring, or one of the two. So he could make things happen, man. So
he could fight him, or he could fight Catchall.
Ooh, Jack. Ooh. So you're thinking what the winner of Harlem?
Yeah.
Catchall, yeah, because we can't overlook boy you Harlem, man. We can't overlook.
Not at all. No, that's what I'm saying. So to introduce himself, this is a good way to introduce himself in the 140 division. There's no point in fighting.
I realize that fight is at 147 because this fight.
Yeah, but okay, Jack's 140. Jack's moving up to fight, but Jack's 140.
Yeah, he can be flexible. Apparently, it just depends on the fight itself. Teo has a voluntary, and I doubt he picks Keyshawn, which I do believe, man. He's very strategic to take over, man. I think he's looking for fights that, one, add value, and two, if it's paying him, what he deserves, then yeah, it is what it is, man.
I watched Opataya's fight this afternoon.
Oh yes.
Yeah, it was shocking, man. I mean, it was a rematch. I believe he was ranked at IBF number 14, and the fight got stopped. He a TKO. I don't get me wrong, look. Opataya's a good fighter. He's a great fighter. Sometimes I just think boxers in general overall, they're being overhyped, you know, until when a boxer's being tested and he wins that test, then I'm like, yeah, he's the man. At the moment, yeah, he's the best at the moment at cruiserweight, but he ain't fought everyone yet at cruiserweight. Already we're talking about him and Usyk, but who knows if Usyk will still be around? He might retire after the Triple D fight. Who knows? But it's just well, Lucy said it. I didn't say that. Lucy said it. But
no, it's just obviously Lucy. Big up to Lucy. But the thing is, I'm not gonna lie. You guys are right. I'm not even gonna disregard that. But I do also think that it's very difficult for him to get fights, man. People are not stepping up to wanting to fight him, and even though he's a champion, notice, cuz as well, that people don't even call him out. He's the champion. He's meant to be called out, but we don't really see guys call him out. Like Ramirez, for example, he can be calling him out. Let's get the unification. Let's go. But we don't hear any noise from the people in his division.
I think with Ramirez, that fight shouldn't that fight be happening next on the Riyadh season. I'm sure that's why. I think that's why they're quiet, because end of the day, look, it comes down to money. You know, everybody wants the money. So again, like, you've got so many people. The cruiserweight division, it's an interesting one, because you've got obviously you've got the British level, you've got the European level, and you've got the world level. But at the moment, it's just there's not much people. Obviously, there's people on the division yet, but it's just, I'm talking about superstars. You know, there's not much black people, and I understand why people, because look, even the fight I watched yesterday, I watched it today. Yeah, it was in Australia, and it's just like, I don't know, man. I literally thought, okay, it's just going to be a good fight. Is he going to get tested? Because it's a rematch. I thought it was going to be a serious one, but I didn't see anything special.
No, it's true.
Even when he fought Thingy, I think he fought him on Fury Usyk's undercard. It was a rematch against what's his name? The guy who he beat for the IBF title.
Greatest.
Yeah. Even with that rematch, it wasn't like you feel, you'll get him out there. No, it was, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's true, man. Everyone's just getting involved, man. And Mr. Neutral saying Jerdal versus Uppertire next. Jerdal's fighting his mandatory in a few weeks, which is true. And Mr. Neutral's obviously saying that Squirrel was, the IBF European champion. So it was the best person that they could tie up, because everyone else was kind of tied up anyway. So, which is a fair point as well. So let's see what happens, because it should be an interesting one. I do hope, Jay Uppertire does get these fights, man, because we need to, like you said, we need to see him really tested against the best. And I just feel that he hasn't been tested just yet. Maybe his test comes at a heavier weight. Who knows, man? But it just kind of just depends on, what happens. He needs to obviously unify the division, undisputed. When he's done that, then we could obviously see, what happens next. But it would be interesting to see. I think he is a talent. He is strong. He is powerful. He does bring something different to the division. So it'll be interesting to see what happens next. And he should. He's 60 years old and never fights. I absolutely love this, man. Lucy's just legendary, man. Big up to Lucy, man. Always from the States. Lucy's facts, man. But yeah, cuz, man, it is, boxing's interesting right now. And there's a lot of things happening. A lot of things happening.
One thing I want to say, because, that are true, it is Dley and Moses potentially could be happening in August. This then means Okoli and Dylan won't happen. So Okoli, it could either fight Riapol or call out Bokoli. Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen, man. So you're calling for Okoli to fight Bokoli. So you've got Nigeria versus Congo. Let's have it. I'll definitely. Or Riapol. I think that is purely based on pride, man. I think Lawrence Okoli is kind of looking at that and thinking, nah, man, I don't want to fight this guy because he hasn't achieved certain bits, man. But storyline-wise, they've got history. So they could sell it. I know it was just a little moment that they had, and a lot of people kind of holding on to that little scuffle that they had, man. But there is clearly something there, and they're both in the same division. They're both at a comfortable weight as well, heavyweight. So I think it makes sense. If a Coley can't get a fight, let's get the Riakpo versus Coley fight, man. I wouldn't mind to see that, man. Or look, anyone can have a brother from Congo as well, man. I think he's ready, but I just hope he comes in at optimal weight, man. I think if he's under about 280, I think, yeah, that's where you would see a proper Bakoli, man, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, that's what it is. Boxing. Ooh, that's it.
Last one. What you said?
Touch on this subject.
Yeah.
Don't know how true this is. Don't know how true it is. With the, is it a 3-fight deal or is it 2-fight deal that AJ signed with Turkey?
His Excellency, yes, man. His Excellency's got him on the big one, man. Big time.
On the street, right? AJ's next opponent could potentially be Jarrell Baby Miller in New York. Now that is big. If he's doing that, I respect that 100%. Should he beat Miller, the next opponent should be Wilder. Should he beat Wilder, then I guess it's Fury. And from there, that's it.
Quits, man. He's done the heavyweight boxing tour. Yeah, because look, we've said it a few times. I think you've said it quite a lot of times in multiple shows that we've done, man. We've done obviously over 200, man, and you've said on multiple occasions, man, let's do Miller versus AJ, unfinished business. So Eddie, if you're listening to this, unfinished business is the title of the event, man. You don't need to make it complicated or nothing. Just unfinished business, and it makes sense, man. In New York, I would love to see that, man. I think that would be a good showing. We know what Miller's going to bring because we saw what he did for the Wardley conference, man. So imagine that times 2. Remember that video that you obviously posted on your socials, man, about him saying like I eat, sleep, and dream Anthony Joshua. You know that kind of energy. I think that's what you bring, man.
I think he's probably the one who could bring the dog out age, I suppose.
Yeah, of course. I can't imagine any promoter with sense who would take a risk putting Miller in the main event. I think if this fight is confirmed, Lucy, I don't think there's nothing in the world that will stop Miller from being on point for this one, man, because this is a big bag that he's not going to play games. He's obviously seen what happened the first time. And I think he genuinely believes he's the guy that can beat him. And I think that he thinks if it was him instead of Ruiz at the time, he would have done the same job. That's what I think, man. So you better have a great backup plan if you do.
You got to see it from Miller's point of view, Miller has only lost 1 professional fight, whereas AJ's lost 4 professional fights. Also, Miller, when he fought Andrew Ruiz, he drew, whereas AJ lost Andrew Ruiz, obviously beat him rematch. But do you know what I mean? So there's that. Yeah. Listen, if it happens, remember, he came in first. AJ vs. Baby Miller in August, September, New York City or Saudi Arabia. Or even London. I see it being London. It has to be America.
Has to be America, man. He's got history there, man. He needs to do. So if it's happening in America, I think it would be more of a Ring Magazine event.
Possibly, yeah. Yeah,
because they do most of the events in the States, man. So I think it makes sense, man. It's not Times Square again, because I did like the atmosphere.
No. I have a question for everyone. AJ vs. Baby Miller, who wins?
People get involved, please. Just who do you think's winning? Is AJ winning?
AJ.
Baby Miller winning? Like, guys, get involved.
I think him going to this fight, fight Miller because Miller is a heavy hitter, but stamina wise, AJ is probably got more stamina than him. But yeah, I think he can knock him out. Yeah, I think he can. Yeah, but Miller he's tough.
Lucy's going for AJ. I'll still take AJ, which is fair. So Lucy's facts coming through. AJ on points in a sloppy affair. Big up to Al Booger. Thank you so much, brother, for getting involved. So that's 2 for AJ at the minute. I think everyone's kind of going for AJ on this one, man. So it looks like a unanimous one for Anthony Joshua or Anthony AJ Joshua. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, guys, that's it. End of the show.
End of the show. Once again, cuz, big up to you. Absolutely love these shows. Just the fact that we're able to just come on, speak to the community just about boxing. We love the sport, and the sport also loves us because they produce some great events that we're always coming to talk about. So big up to the whole of the iBoxingHub family once again. Big up to Ricky. Content is obviously going to be coming out for IBH North. So big up to the whole of the IBH North family. Big up to the whole of the IBH USA family. Big up to Abbas and Sugar Ray from the Stay Wading family. Big up to the whole of the iBoxingHub family, including the community. We obviously love you and we appreciate the support. Have a blessed Sunday. I'm going to hand you over to my cuz, Mr. Sports Entertainment, so you can wrap up the show, man.
Have a blessed Sunday, guys. We shall see you on Wednesday. Peace and love.
It's another band. All the Muslim cars now, whichever get up. I thought my card with a sweet one, please. Someone flicks me